Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ernie Fowler, whatever this is called. Anyway, it's been a little while before I posted. I do sometimes some live videos on Facebook, and then I do try to copy them over onto my YouTube channel so that there's some more continuity about things. Anyway, I just got home from dialysis, and it was fairly uneventful until I went to leave. Um, if you don't know, the weather's very cold right now, and we just got a snowstorm here in Iowa, but the roads are pretty much clear and parking lots and everything. And I was going to leave dialysis, and I dropped my keys. And in doing so, I am carrying a little bag with me, like a backpack, um, in one hand, and usually it's in my right hand because, especially right after dialysis, they don't want you to be carrying any type of weight in your dialysis arm. And hi, this is Angelo. Angelo, can you say hi? Hi. Anyway, he's always excited when I just get home from dialysis. Anyway, or just get home in general. But anyway, so I was going to reach down with my dominant. I mean, I'm left handed, but I do a lot of things right handed. And so, anyway, and then I decided not to do that because, again, I didn't want to put any weight on my left arm, which is where my site is. And so I decided to kind of just bend over and pick my keys up. Well, in doing so, I lost my balance. And you know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I fell. First real fall since being home back in December of 2017. So I think that's pretty good. But falling is always a big issue, not because of my prosthetic, but because of my dialysis. When you're on dialysis, you're on a fair amount of blood thinners. They boost that when you have your treatment. They give you a big dose of heparin, but then your baseline is always, you have thinner blood to help prevent any clots or anything from developing. But the biggest problem with that is bleeding, and particularly a head bleed. If you fall or get whacked in the head for any reason, you can develop a bleed into your brain, which can kill you very quickly. Um, so that is always the fear. Now, when I fell, I didn't hit my head um, because it's always the first thing I think about. And I was fine. And I grabbed my keys now that I'm on the ground, and some lady rolls down her window in her car. She was waiting for her husband. Do you need help? I just saw you fall. And I go, well, I'm not sure. I have a prosthetic leg, and there's nothing out here for me to grab. So she got out of her vehicle, and then another person, I didn't actually even see them, just came over on my right side, but I could tell it was two women. And I'm still a pretty big guy, I'm at 200 and about 250 pounds, maybe a little less, but anyway, 6'3". I got a lot of big bones. So they start to kind of hoist me up, and I have to get my legs under myself, and because my left leg, I don't have the flexibility on it because of the way my prosthetic is attached. Um, so then two nurses came out. They obviously heard, "You just had a patient fall in the parking lot." So they come out and get me up off onto my feet. "Are you okay? Okay." I go, "Yeah, I didn't hit my head," because I knew that was going to be one of the first thing they asked. And they asked me, "Are you having any pain?" I go, not necessarily. It hurt a little bit to fall, but otherwise it's fine. And they reminded me, well, if anything changes, you make sure you call, and we'll tell you what to do. So anyway, obviously it's a little bit embarrassing because I'm not an old, feeble man, even though my new shirt does say the Old Man Club. Um, but, I've come at this point in my life, stuff happens. And, we can't always be on our toes all the time. So anyway, I'm fine. I feel my right knee aches just a little bit, but that's, I think, from falling and maybe scraping it a little bit on the pavement. And So I wanted to share that. I had a pseudo fall about a month ago or so in my apartment. It was basically I had my leg off, I was in my wheelchair, and I was trying to reach for something that was a little bit probably beyond where I should be trying to reach, and my right leg started to slide out from under me on the carpet, and I kind of whacked my ribs on the back of my couch. I have a sectional couch here that the back part of it is just solid, covered in upholstery, but the cushy part are the pillows. So anyway, since then I've had a significant amount of pain in my rib cage, and I'm pretty sure I either cracked or, I don't really think I broke any ribs, but it would hurt a lot, if you've ever hurt your ribs when you cough or you sneeze. It's torture. So anyway, so that was probably, and like I said, I don't really count that as a fall. I slipped, didn't hit the ground or anything, so be it. So it's just something I wanted to share that happened to me today. Otherwise, things are going pretty good. I have my a new appointment uh, on April 2nd for my transplant evaluation. The second time I'll be having it done, but now I have insurance and everything, so I should be put on the list. And the general wait time for a kidney is 2 to 3 years. And I've mentioned this before, but I'll just reiterate. The policy is as soon as you start dialysis, your time on the wait list starts. So even though you might not technically be on the list, as soon as you jump through all the hurdles and everything, that's where you'll go on the list, is according to the date of your start of dialysis. So it could put you depending on, transplants and so forth, it could pop you up towards the top of the list very fast. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I have a close friend that has offered me a kidney. If he's a match, obviously that would be the best scenario, because there would be no wait time. It would just be arranging the surgery and whatnot. So anyway, I'm hoping that will happen, but we'll see. Um, Otherwise, not much is going on. I have joined a few support groups on Facebook for amputees and for kidney patients, and I've learned a lot. And I would encourage anybody, if you have a certain illness or chronic disease or whatever, and you're kind of, it's not some place that you want to go seek out a support group and physically go. You can join these Facebook groups. There's just about every type of support group you could imagine. And it gives you some, privacy because you show what you want to show on your profile and whatnot. But I've learned quite a bit by being in these groups. Everything from how I'm feeling, that sometimes I feel like I still don't have any energy. It's over a year that I've been home and I still think I'm struggling. And it really encouraged me that, no, you're actually doing pretty good. There's people several years out from their surgery that still use a wheelchair a lot of the time. They're having struggles with their prosthetics. And like I said, I rarely ever even use my wheelchair. Even now, if I need to get up to go to the bathroom, it's quicker actually for me to pop my leg back on than to, wiggle my way over and transfer into the wheelchair. And then, so I don't even use it for that. But I do, and I take my leg off every night because they recommend that you don't sleep with it on for whatever reason. And you do have to give your skin time to air out and so forth. But one thing in particular that I didn't understand is that when you lose a limb, the energy that you have to expend to do day-to-day normal things is increased by a certain percentage. So I found out that a below-the-knee amputation increases your energy expenditure by 30 to 40%, opposed to a normal person. If you lose above the knee, it's like 50%. Excuse me, I get the hiccups kind of. And if you have both legs, it's 200%. So that really put things in perspective to me on how I'm doing in my recovery. Because I see videos of people with amputations and they're running and they're at the gym and they're doing just things that, I couldn't even think to start doing that kind of stuff. I walk fairly well. I can walk at different gaits, but stairs, and depending on how all right. This cat here is rubbing his face on my phone, and you think he wants some attention? Oh, Angelo, you're my love buddy. Yes, he's such a good boy. Anyway, so it just made me feel better about myself and how I'm doing. Also, you have to add in the mix of me also being on dialysis. So, in talking with the dialysis people, fatigue is very common and doesn't really matter what age you are, but, things like that. I've also learned, got more information on dealing with phantom pain in your residual limb. I'm sure most people have heard of phantom pain, and I'm here to tell you it's real. I can feel sometimes like my left foot is aching. I don't have a left foot. I feel like I have a cramp in my toes on my left side. So the nerve endings are all still there. They just stop short of where they originally went. So it's kind of a real funky thing to feel. And it is very common with amputees to feel these phantom pains of all different types and all different severities. Mine's treated with a low dose Lortab, which is, I don't know if it's Vicodin or Percocet and Tylenol mixed. Um, because I've tried all the non narcotics and they don't do anything for me. I think I have a pretty high tolerance to pain medication, and that's why. I could pop Tylenols all day long and they won't do anything for me. And there's a lot of medications I can't take because of my kidneys. Um, Now, whatever your beliefs are on medical marijuana, I've talked to a lot of people in the amputee groups that's how they treat it, and they have no issues. So there's the difference between using marijuana to get high and marijuana for medicinal uses. So there's two different parts of it. I'm sure you've seen or read or whatever, or maybe you experience the two parts of marijuana: the THC, which is the part that makes you high, and the CBD, which is the part that has more of the um, healing properties, or however. But whatever your thoughts. Now, I live in a state that just passed a law for medical marijuana, but they only allow it for certain conditions. Um, Amputees aren't really one of the conditions, but untreatable pain is. So you just have to see your doctor, I guess, and they write you out. They don't actually order it. They're just writing a letter of necessity. And then you actually go and talk to a medical marijuana doctor, and you and him decide what you need and how you want to approach it from there. So it's definitely something I'd be willing to try. One of the biggest problems with opiates is constipation. I'll be quite honest with you. And so now you're taking stool softeners and this and that, and you know, but I don't feel bad. I'm not addicted. I don't have an addictive personality. And so, I'm not hung up on the fact that I use Lortabs. But anyway, um, I think that's probably about it for today. We're supposed to get another storm tonight, and then on top of it, a fairly thick layer of ice. So I'm really glad I had dialysis today, and I don't have to go anywhere until Wednesday, and when hopefully a lot of that will be cleaned up. I did buy some of those spiked shoe covers, um, because again, falling is a huge fear of mine. And yeah, I could wear boots, but changing shoes is a bigger issue because to put the shoe onto my prosthetic, I have to take my leg off, and the foot doesn't bend like it would on your real foot. So I found these little rubber covers that on the bottom of them have spikes. Found it on Amazon. They were about 20 something dollars, and they work really well. I can slip them on and off, and I can take them with me. If the conditions change, I don't have to feel like I'm stuck or taking my. I don't have to worry about being safe, I guess. Today it wouldn't have mattered because the pavement was dry. I just lost my balance. So Please subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, like I said, I'm still new in this journey, but even so far, I've been able to encourage some people, that are even newer than I am. So uh, being in these groups has really helped me, and I would encourage any of you that whatever your issues may be, um, or if you know somebody, you're a caregiver or something of somebody that has these conditions, these groups allow those types of people in also to just better the overall support of the person that's dealing with this stuff. Anyway, go Cowboys, maybe next year. If you're a football fan, been a lot of controversy over the last two games yesterday. Um, Between the Rams and the Saints, and the Patriots and the Chiefs. So both games, I guess they felt the outcomes would have been reversed. But now it's the Patriots and the Rams for the Super Bowl. So, seeing I'm an NFC guy, I'm going to root for the Rams. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It's quite an accomplishment for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick to. This is, I think, their ninth Super Bowl together. So that in itself is an accomplishment. But everybody have a wonderful time. God bless. And like I said, be well. Bye.